All right, let's dive in. We're going to talk about one of the most stressful parts of being a nurse, incident reporting. We're going to see how a new AI copilot can take that documentation nightmare and actually turn it into a powerful tool for improving patient care. And, get this, do it in a fraction of the time.
You know that sound, right? It's the one every nurse dreads. A patient has fallen. So you rush in, you assess, you call for help, you manage the immediate crisis. But in the back of your mind, you know that once the adrenaline finally fades, a whole other challenge is waiting for you.
And yeah, that challenge is the paperwork. The incident report, it has to be super detailed, completely objective, and totally complete. I mean, the stakes are just incredibly high for patient safety, for risk management, for legal protection, and it all falls right on your shoulders, usually at the very end of a long, totally draining shift.
And just look at how this time adds up. A single fall report, that can easily take 45 minutes. A med error, sometimes even longer. Each one of these reports requires you to be so meticulous with the details, and all of that is time pulling you away from actual patient care.
So what's the cumulative effect? Well, it's not crazy to think you could add an extra hour or even 2.5 hours of just documentation to a single shift. That's time you're spending at a computer, not at the bedside where you're needed most. So what's the solution here? Well, this is where an AI copilot comes in, and the most important part is right there in the subtitle. This technology is designed to assist you, not replace you. Think of it as a tool to help you work smarter, not some robot that's trying to take over your job.
Let's break it down. The AI is amazing at the grunt work, right? It organizes all the complicated facts, it structures a perfect timeline, and it uses that objective language we're always supposed to use. But your role? It's still front and center. You provide the clinical judgment, you make sure the report is accurate and truthful, and you are the one assessing the patient. The AI is really just your very, very efficient scribe.
So how does it actually do it? Well, you give it your raw data points, and it systematically organizes them. It makes sure you don't miss any of those required elements, it strips out any of that subjective or blame-focused language, and it builds a professional, comprehensive report that just checks all the boxes for risk management and quality improvement.
Okay, let's make this really concrete. We're going to go back to that fall in room 318. Let's look at the before and the after of using AI to document what happened with our patient, Mrs. Anderson.
So, here are the raw notes. This is exactly the kind of stuff you jot down right after the incident, you know? It's factual, sure, but it's all over the place. It's fragmented. It has all the key ingredients, but it's definitely not a formal report. So now, you take these points and you feed them into the AI prompt. And boom, here's the result. Instantly, those fragmented notes are woven into this clear, professional narrative. It establishes the timeline, it includes the patient's account, and it's all in that objective, clinical language.
Okay, and this is where it gets really powerful. The AI generates a contributing factors analysis. So instead of just saying what happened, it helps you analyze why it happened. It highlights the system issues, like the dead battery in the bed alarm. And this is huge, because it shifts the focus from blaming an individual to improving the whole system.
And finally, it perfectly documents your response, a clear, chronological list of every single intervention and notification. You know, for legal and risk management purposes, this level of organized detail is just absolutely invaluable. Okay, so we've seen the massive improvement in the quality of the report. That's clear. But what about that other critical factor for every single nurse? Time. This is about giving you back your most valuable resource so you can spend it where it truly matters most, with your patients.
I mean, the difference here is just stark. A task that would traditionally take you 45 minutes can now be done in 15. You're still providing all the critical information and judgment, but all the heavy lifting of organizing and writing, that's handled for you.
That's an average of 20 to 30 minutes saved for every single incident. Just think about that. What could you do with that extra half hour? Another patient assessment? Taking the time to really educate a family member? Or maybe just taking a moment to breathe during a crazy, hectic shift. That time is priceless.
But honestly, this is about so much more than just saving time. This technology represents a fundamental shift in how we approach patient safety. It's about turning every incident into a real opportunity to learn and to improve.
And it's all powered by a concept called systems thinking. So instead of asking, okay, who's to blame for this? We start asking, what in our system allowed this to happen?
By identifying those root causes, like faulty equipment or clunky workflows, we can actually fix the problem and prevent the next incident from ever happening.
This quote just gets right to the heart of it all, doesn't it? For way too long, incident reports have felt punitive, like this huge source of stress and anxiety. This new approach reframes them into what they were always supposed to be, a constructive process for making healthcare safer for absolutely everyone.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. What if that dreaded piece of paperwork could actually be transformed into your most powerful tool for driving real change on your unit? With tools like this AI Copilot, that future isn't some far-off what-if anymore, it's happening right now.